about stuff too, but
Okay, so let me ask you this: what if the food was spoiled or not there when you arrived? Like, say
so,
somebody said, "Hey, I got this steak here. I want you to cook, and these potatoes." But when you got there, the steak was spoiled, and you was like, "I'm not cooking this. I'm not putting my name on this."
yeah,
What
yeah.
would you do?
I bring the issue to the owner or whoever invited me to the house, and then if we can resurrect it by me going to the store, then yeah.
Okay, now if you had to do that, if you had to go to the store, you got there in the store, how much do you think is a fair price to charge for you to go to the store, come back? You understand? Would you charge by the minute,
Yeah, that'd have to be by time.
by
I guess,
time?
I guess the whole thing could be set up with a base amount of money, and then time. Just like we say Uber, we kind of agreed on the Uber thing, or like just like cabs come to your house and it's like initial pickup fee,
Right.
and then after that it's time.
Okay.
But it has to be a certain amount of time allotted though.
Okay. Now, what if there are children and pets in the cooking area?
Still got to take it up with the owner, whoever initially called on the
Are
app.
you, as a chef, would you be willing to cook with children and pets in the area?
No, it's a safety issue.
Safety issue.
Yeah, so that's how I would bring it up to the owner, that they were presenting a safety concern for the work environment, but we want everybody to be safe. Man.
Right.
Get the kids.
So I had asked you before, if you get to a residence and your work area needs more cleaning than expected, how much clean are you willing to do before you start charging? Like, what's your courtesy clean? Like, wipe a counter or two?
Yeah, see, I would say that's included because, handling food, especially raw food or ready to eat food, that's part of it. Making sure all contact surfaces are clean. But if the kitchen equipment, as far as the stove or oven or the sink, those three major things right there, if they unusable because they so dirty, then we got to work something out. Because I got to pre-wash vegetables, I got to thaw out meats, I got to use the sink. I clean the sink, but if it's dirty dishes in there, then we gonna tag on that $20 fee maybe. I don't think the minute thing.
Well, how much? Okay, so how much per minute, or how much do you think is a flat rate, not per minute?
If you did a minute, like
$2 a minute,
that might be steep.
$1 a minute.
Yeah, maybe $1 or less.
Because you figure if you 10 minutes, that's $10. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's just me thinking about like Uber though. Uber charge like 10, 11 cents a minute for traffic.
Nah.
When you waiting in traffic.
Oh, in traffic they do?
They break it down.
I'm talking about if Uber pulls up to your house
and we waiting outside.
And you waiting outside, Uber charges $2 or $3 a minute.
Nah, do they?
Yeah.
That's the new thing. I did that one time
now,
with this
traffic,
dude.
I never heard the traffic thing, so I don't know about the traffic. But that would be okay, so say you're at the house and you have to sit and wait for the owner to get your directions. Say they're in the bathroom or upstairs or somewhere and you have to sit there and wait. How long are you willing to sit there and wait until you start charging?
15 minutes. 15 minutes before I start charging for waiting for them to
for
come
your
back.
wait fee, yeah. Like, how willing? If you come inside, they greet you and say, "All right, come on in. Hold on, wait a minute, I'll be right back." And then from that point, how long are you willing to wait there without no charge? Are you willing to wait there like 2-3 minutes and say, "Okay," but after 5 minutes?
Oh yeah, okay, 5 minutes. I say 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Like a grace period before
like
you start charging.
Period,
I thought you were talking about before I leave. I'm like,
no.
I leave in 15 minutes. I'm out of here. Look,
hey,
dude, one right of that wait time, 9 minutes, 18 cents a minute.
That's during a trip.
No, I was waiting for this dude outside his house. He messed me up though, because the trip didn't even take 9 minutes.
So how long was you waiting?
86 cents for the time in traffic,
okay.
And then they do distance, and then the basic fare, which is 75 cents.
Okay, so you're thinking a wait time and a charge time would be cheaper, under $1.
Yeah, man, I don't think that's fair though with the Uber thing. With that wait time, I should have pulled
It should
out.
be more.
Because I would have been on to another ride or on to another job in your case.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
Time is
We're
money.
trying to make this appeasable for both the customer and the chef. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't want the chef to, so 5 minutes is your wait time.
And then if it was 20 cents a
Let me
minute,
ask you this. Do you think
that's
the level of pay should reflect the skill level of the chef?
definitely. I think because you will probably get a wide range of requests from something as basic as a birthday party, doing some wings or some little sliders, chicken sliders, or just a bunch of fried stuff, versus somebody that you
Really knows what
require, you to pick up some skills if they wanted some French style sauces and some whole cooked meals, roasted brine meats and whatever for
So do you think the level do you think a rating system should reflect the chef's pay? Like if you go to 10 people's houses and 10 of them say you're the bomb, and then another chef goes to 10 people's houses and 10 of them say he sucks.
Yeah.
Do you think the next 10 people you go through, do you think you should be getting paid more?
But maybe you can answer it too, because if you go to a restaurant and they got 2 stars out of 5,
I'm not going back.
You ain't going.
Matter of fact,
no, that's if you have a bad experience. Before you go, you might not go.
Before I go to a restaurant, I check the star rating.
But say a restaurant does have 2 or 3 stars, you
I'm
think
not
the
going.
chef should get paid? They should change the
He need
menu?
to get a new job, because I'm not going.
Okay, they say 4 stars then. I worked at a lot
4
of
stars, I'm gonna give you a chance.
4
I'm gonna give you a
stars.
chance.
But it's not 5 stars. So should 4-star restaurant employees get paid less than 5-star restaurant employees?
It depends,
Or
because
the menu
what
prices
makes,
should change?
to me, it's like what makes
Yeah.
you 5-star. What makes you 5 stars? Just like if you go to McDonald's
Yeah.
and they have 100 versus going to the McDonald's that got a 90. You
Right.
feel me? Like
Yeah.
that 100, you're gonna see why, because there are 10 of, hey sir, even when you go in, the manager might come to your table, hey, is everything all right?
Yeah.
You understand, just that little
But I
stuff.
bet you never been to a Waffle House that got 100, because they don't never close, and most of them got roaches. But you still eat there, especially when you're drunk. That's a drunk thing for me.
Yeah, but I be in the mood for Waffle House
See?
sometimes.
Yeah. They bring you that
You know
cup
what
of
I'm saying?
silverware, hot
And,
water.
and see, that's
the only
another,
place
and that's
that do
another
that.
question. That's another question. Do you
Yeah.
think for our chefs there should be a guidelines on how to cook certain foods? Like when you go to the Waffle House, cheese eggs are gonna be the same at every Waffle House.
Yeah, that's true.
So, do you think that our chefs should have certain guidelines that say, hey, when you go, this is how we cook our eggs for Chef App now. This is how we cook our grits, because some people's grits ain't hitting.
If you want to brand it like that, I guess it's 101 ways or 10 ways to cook an egg, as far as
Right.
the different methods and techniques, fried,
Right.
poached. Then you got medium, over easy.
Yeah, but some people cook their eggs too high and too fast, so they don't get that. And they'll have their brown. Some people cook their eggs and
Too
they got
hot.
the little burntness to. You know what I'm saying? I don't like eggs like that. I
Yeah.
cook my eggs slow, and they taste like Waffle House eggs. You see what I'm saying?
Well, then I think if you're gonna set the standard, for eggs or certain types of proteins, and say we're gonna cook it like this, then you gotta set a menu. And
Set
say
the menu and give a little tutorial on how to cook certain items.
That ain't that bad.
You know what I'm saying?
And then for the guests to be the guests, or whoever signed up for the service could go on there and pick like basic meal plans.
Exactly.
For like different seasons, and every season
Exactly.
you can change
The seasonings you want. Some people are allergic to this. Some people can eat this and that.
Yeah.
So it's a
like
whole
that.
lot of wide ranges. Okay, let me ask you this: do you think every chef should have some kind of culinary schooling?
No. But some of the best chefs that I know and that they know that inspired them didn't go to school, like Julia Childs or
Right.
James Beard.
Didn't even go to school.
No, that's purely based off of.
So do you think a
individual
title should reflect the chef's pay? Like if this chef went to culinary arts and he's an
chef.
executive chef versus this guy who's just a good cook, who never went to schooling, do you think if you work and go to school and get that title, you should get paid more than a guy who hasn't went to school?
I think so.
I think
I think that'd be a big separation from somebody. But I think that boiled down to experience, because school really don't mean nothing. So I didn't go to culinary school, but I've been cooking for 17 years.
Exactly. So let me ask.
But I done held executive chef positions, and I know multiple techniques and methods on how to get stuff done.
So you think a person that is like you versus that fresh baby that just came out of school but went to school to be an executive chef?
Do I think he should get paid more than me? Nah, because that don't really mean nothing. That don't really mean nothing. You can just break it down to, because it still boil down to what type of party you doing, how much you gonna be getting paid, how long it take you, and your rating, which would reflect how good you are actually. Because you can have all those certificates and have 2 stars.
Okay, so exactly. So if a great cook with no schooling are allowed to participate, what do you think the pay difference should be between a great cook and a great cook that went to school?
And you doing minutes, or you thinking
Well, I'm just saying in just let's use percentages and say, do you think you should get 20% more than that, 30% less? How much less or how much more do you think that chef that's a great cook that went to school should get?
It's actually about 50. Now
50%.
And I'm gonna break it down like this.
I get it, because somebody else told me the same
from
thing.
From a line cook making $10 to $12 an hour to a sous chef position making 52, 54. That's on the high end. Low end or average.
The average chef makes $13.50 an hour.
That's
the
what
average
you
chef.
talking about breaking down what?
I'm talking about if you take up all the chefs and put them all together, the average one is gonna make $13.50. That's probably talking about the steakhouse chefs.
Yeah.
Like what do you call? What's a steak? Outback, like an Outback chef.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? The restaurants like that. That's
sense.
an average $13.50 an hour.
Okay, so we'll say $13.50, but then.
But Highline
chefs. None of them cats went to culinary school. Well, they probably did, but they never.
Highline chefs, you think about it like this. Okay. Highline chefs, when you go to school and you become an executive chef, your dreams of a chef are being at Bellagio and these big places. Yeah. Now, out of all these big time chefs, how many of those chefs do you actually think have those jobs? You feel what I'm saying? So there's more chefs that are unemployed. Not doing chef jobs.
That's me. I'm doing that.
So if you could be sitting here and somebody just hit you, bing! I need a hamburger made for me right now, and you could go over there, do what you love to do, and make $20 for making somebody a hamburger, because the least we're coming out to your house for is $20.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Me personally, I wouldn't do it, but that's because I done made it so far in my career. My last job I was executive chef at a Chris spot, Chicken and Beer.
Okay.
But I done worked at the Ritz-Carlton, and I worked Wolfgang Puck 5 years.
What would be the number that would get you out the door?
Oh, it ain't about a number, because I would do it for the number you just.
Right.
But that just ain't what I'm doing right now.
But what I'm saying is, like, as a chef, if you were in your chef thing, if you could say, okay, boom, today I could make $500 because I can go over here, boil some hot dogs for this mom that has all these kids and she just wants some hot dogs made. That I just made $20 there, and that took me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I can go right from there, hit somebody else that needs some chicken wings, a platter. Boy, it took me 2 hours. I just made $200.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where it's like I could do this daily, and I could cook for 5-10 people a day and make $500-$600. You understand? Because the $20 orders, you're talking about 5 minutes. You're talking about going into somebody's house, cooking something that's quick. You feel what I'm saying? And you're gone, and you're on to the next person. You feel what I'm saying? The longest time you're gonna be in there is doing your cleanup.
Well, it gotta be a minimum then, or like
it's listen.
$20. What's that? $20?
Everything is gonna be right there. Before you get to a person's house, you're gonna know exactly what they want. So say they order something, right? That say you, what's your specialty? What is what you love to cook?